Hello, everybody. So today we are going to get into budgeting, and it's a financial must. It's really important. There's a couple different ideas we're going to talk about that kind of lead into it, but this is just crucial. Okay, so in order to be successful in life, a lot of times having financial success is important. And I don't necessarily mean wealthy. I mean that you are focused here, okay? So the question is, do you want to be first or last? Okay, you have to make a conscious decision to have financial success. It has to be your number one priority. Okay, and that success could be gaining lots of wealth, or that success could be living comfortably. It doesn't matter what it is, okay, but it's crucial that you understand that you have to make this decision to be successful financially, just like Uncle Sam. And I want you to be financially successful, which is crucial. Now, the thing is, success is hard. Okay, it's easy to fail. That's why we do it. It's so easy just to pack it in and let things happen instead of maybe working hard. Okay, and on the right here, you see this is my man. This is John Acuff. I'm a big fan of his works. He writes a lot of books, and in a book he wrote called Start, he said, lucky is a word people who are lazy use to describe people who are hustling. Okay, it's easy for us to make excuses. It's easiest to look at financially successful people and say they were lucky at some point in life. Okay, you need to be different. You have to make this decision to be great and to make everything work for you. And I have another one for him here. He says, a dream you don't have to fight for isn't a dream, it's a nap. And while naps are delightful and enjoyed best on Sunday afternoon, they do very little to move you closer to awesome. A nap changes your afternoon. Awesome changes your world. John Acuff and myself, I believe that if you decide that you're going to be awesome at something, if you decide that you can make a difference in your own life, you will. Now, it does take time, discipline, and dedication to be successful here. But again, I ask you to ask yourself, what do you want to achieve in life? Or what do I want you to achieve in life is what I want you to ask yourself. And take a minute and think about that, okay? Pause the video here. Pause it and think. All right, so hopefully you paused it and now you've unpaused it. And I have a reminder for yourself. Poor finances will prevent you from achieving those things. If you want to do this stuff, having no money or being massively in debt, it's not going to help. Okay, you have to work hard. You have to be dedicated. Like Mark Cuban says, work like there's someone working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. And then you're going to be okay. Now, what messes us up? When it comes to financial problems and financial issues, what are the mistakes that we make? And I have a list of things here that are really the most common things. You have medical problems, or you have to go to the ER, you have sick pets, you have broken computer. You can read the rest. But as you're reading, just think in the back of your mind here that all of these things add up. And too often we go through life just thinking that bad things aren't going to happen. And as long as I'm paying all my bills, I'm okay. Well, a lot of times people who are just paying their bills, that's exactly that. That's all they're doing. They're not living life. They're working, they're paying bills, and they're going to sleep. Not necessarily in that order. So Benjamin Franklin here, wonderful quote, beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. And he's right, if you go to the doctor and your insurance doesn't cover part of it, and then you get a sick pet, your car gets messed up, someone stole something from you, you got friends who are getting married and kids' birthdays, like it all adds up. So how can we deal with this stuff? Well, part of budgeting is having an emergency fund. Okay, an emergency fund is money that you put aside, okay, for emergencies. Okay, and here's something from a guy by the name of Dave Ramsey. Your emergency fund is not an investment, it's insurance with one purpose: to protect you and your family. Pretty correct. And the idea is that there's always something coming in a few months that will cost you money. So be prepared. Okay, the basic amount of an emergency fund that you want, guys, is $1,000. $1,000 put away in a bank account. We'll talk a lot about it more in class. But ultimately, you're looking for something that is 3 to 6 months of your expenses. But having an emergency fund that you can tap when something goes wrong is crucial. Okay, an emergency is not a sale. Emergency is not people going on vacation. Okay, real emergencies. And we're going to get a lot more in depth in this in class. Now, other things that mess us up are things that, this baby is telling you right now, not managing your money, okay? Not paying attention to your bills and your due dates. It's due by the due date. You don't send it in on the due date, it's due by the due date. Abusing credit cards, spending too much money on credit cards that don't need to be there. We'll get into that. Overspending, okay? Buying things that you don't have, or with money that you don't have, or there's a variety of different ways we can overspend. And a lot of times the overspending is in little increments, but it adds up. So say you want to go get coffee every day. Well, if you spend like say $3 a day on coffee, okay, because coffee gets expensive now. And let's just say you're just buying it Monday through Friday, okay? $3 a day, that's $18, okay, a week. All right, then that's going to $74 a month, okay? And if you look at it over the course of a year, you're spending like, $800 to $900 on just coffee. So think about that. And then, of course, lack of attention to detail, that you're not paying attention to the finer things, where your money is going, how you're investing it, things like that. But debt is probably the biggest thing that's causing us all these problems. And I got some pretty eye-opening numbers for you. Debt number one, credit card debt. The average amount of families that have credit card debt have $15,675. That is insane. Okay, that's a car. And we're not even talking about car debt. Okay, the US total is 954 billion. By the way, that's the smallest number I'm going to talk about for nationwide debt. And I want you to look at that Capital One card there. Think about it. Think about it. It's important. Continue to think. And we're moving on. Mortgage debt. This is when we buy fun houses and stuff. And we're going to talk about pluses and minuses to houses, and we'll get into it. But individual mortgage debt is $172,341. And nationally, we are $8.36 trillion in debt. It's a number, it's mind boggling. You can't even get it. But I think the house on the right is cute. Auto loans. Oh my goodness, this is crazy, the amount of money we spend on cars. The average auto loan is $27,865. We are $1.1 trillion in car debt. If you look at the meme on the bottom left, I want you to think about that, because that's something that's really, really crucial that I want you to get a little bit deeper about. Or you, of course, could ride your bike a lot. And yes, if you don't know, I ride my bike to school almost every day. There's me going home. Look at all the expensive cars. Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, other expensive cars. There's me. I bet I got there first. Student loans. Oh, we'll talk about it. Individual loans are 48,500. Nationally, we are $1.23 billion in student loan debt. I know you're scared. I know you're worried. We're going to talk all about it. I'm going to try to put some of your fears to bed, but understand debt is crushing us, and we have to find better ways to deal with it. So all of this is why we need to budget, okay? Budget is a plan for spending and saving, okay? You need to consciously be spending your money, but also consciously be saving your money, and we're going to be showing you some things for that. And you also need to open up a dialogue. Don't be scared to talk about money. Don't be scared to engage others about good money practices or financial practices. Don't be scared to read a book. I've read a ton of books, or follow a blog, okay? You want to do all these things, and you want to talk to the right people. If you have your buddy that's always asking you for money and seems broke, you probably shouldn't talk to that person. If you got another buddy that always seems to be comfortable, doesn't seem to be spending tons of money, but never seems to complain, that's the person that you want to talk to, because he or she has got it going on. So when we have a budget, what does it allow you to do? I mean, these are the crucial things. It allows you to identify your needs and your wants, okay? Because when you're looking at your money, which is going to be crucial, you're going to find ways to save it. You're going to eliminate wasteful spending, okay? You're going to see that, oh my gosh, I'm spending this money on what? Get rid of it. You're going to make saving a priority. The idea that I have extra money, so I'm going to be putting it away or investing it, crucial. You'll be able to prioritize and pay down debt because you're going to see it. You're going to avoid additional debt because when you're budgeting, you want to keep in those positive numbers. If you have negative numbers, you're going to be like, oh, I don't like that, and you're going to avoid that debt. But when you take all of those first 5 things together, number 6 is really what adds it all up. You can see your money. You're going to see your debt. Okay, you're going to see your expenditures. You're going to visualize where that money is going. And when you see that, guys, see, people who are in big debt keep these bills and they keep all this money in different places. They don't ever write it down and put it in one spot. Okay, smart people write it all down, put it on one spot. They realize how large that number is, and then they're able to figure out a way to attack it, and that's going to be crucial. So how do we actually even start a budget or how that works? Well, here's a little mini video for you. So gonna take a time out from me.
How to build a budget. No clue where your money goes every month? Wish you could save more? A budget or spending plan can help you figure out your priorities and get your finances on track. To create one, follow these simple steps. You will need a calculator, pay stubs, investment statements, recurring bills, and expense tracking. Step 1. Tally your household's monthly income. Include take-home pay for you and your spouse and any interest or dividends from investments. Also, add other financial benefits, such as alimony or Social Security payments. Step 2. Add your fixed monthly expenses, such as mortgage or rent, car payments, and insurance premiums. Also include the average cost of monthly bills, such as utilities. If you make other recurring payments on a quarterly or annual basis, divide those by the number of months in the payment period and add them in too. Step 3. Track out-of-pocket expenses. Write down what you spend on groceries and eating out, gas, and personal items. After a few weeks, you'll have an idea of what you spend each month. Also add birthday gifts and other seasonal items. Make out-of-pocket expenses tracking easier by rounding up purchases to the next dollar. Step 4. Subtract your expenses from your income. If the resulting number is close to zero or is a negative number, you're spending too much. Review your expenses to see where you can cut back. Step 5. List your financial goals. Consider building a rainy day fund for emergencies, or maybe you want to pay off a credit card, save for retirement, or take a dream vacation. Once you know your goals, set a timeline and a monthly savings target for achieving each one. Divide the total amount needed for each goal by the number of months to achieve it. This will help you determine where you need to cut back elsewhere. Be sure to build some fun into your budget for things like dinners out. A spending plan doesn't have to be boring. Step 6. Put it all together to create a workable spending plan. Remember, your budget is a living document that can and should change along with your income, needs, and goals. So revisit it once in a while to make any necessary changes. Now that you know where your money is going, you can feel better that your finances are on track, because part of living well now is being prepared for the future. You can use your smartphone or tablet to access websites that help you build and track your spending plan. Did you know? SaveAndInvest.org.
All right, well, that's an ad, but that should give you a basic idea of like what goes into a budget and making a budget and how to get started. We're going to talk about all this in class a lot, a lot deeper, but that's really just to give you a taste of what's going on. So the idea here is, so why or how do you make a budget work? What you typically want to try to do is what we call a zero-based budget. If you look on the side here, there's a variety of different, this is a monthly budget, okay, and this has all these different expenses on it. In the end, you want to have zero. Now, zero doesn't mean you're spending all your money. Look over here on the left, you are not spending all of your money. No, don't do it, unless you want to buy stuff from me, but don't do that. Everything is itemized. So we have our health insurance, our car insurance, okay, fuel, baby supplies, groceries, dates and entertainment. So they put some money to go out and have some fun. Personal money. So that's money that you spend on a variety of different things. You'll have savings and other type of stuff. See, savings, $586. So you have everything there. So the key thing is that you know where all your money is going. Every single cent, guys, is crucial. Crucial. Every single cent. Zero-based budget. Saving, investing, fun, all of that is put together so that it works for you to make a great and successful budget. Now, how do we make this budget work and why is it such a good thing? One, the budget must exist. It needs to be on a computer program. It needs to be in a notebook. You must be able to physically see it. Two, you must refer regularly to the budget. You must look at it, I'm not necessarily once a day, but every few days, every week, you should look down, make sure everything is clearing, make sure that all the stuff has been paid for. You must regularly make the budget, either monthly or bi-monthly. Some people have to do weekly. I'll talk about that. You must not lie about your spending. Don't hide the money. Don't try to deceive yourself, because if you do it, you're going to fail. And you must actually follow the budget. If you make it, you got to follow it. And I'll tell you some tips on how to do that as well. Okay, so if we wrap it all up, what must we understand about budgeting and why it's so important? One, the debt and mismanagement prevent success. There are going to be great things that you want to do, but if you're in debt or lacking money, a lot of times you won't be able to do those great things, and then you're going to be sad, and I don't want you to be sad. You need to work hard, okay? You can't just like show up and all the money is going to work for you. It's not that easy. You have to be willing to work hard at that. I work hard at my finances, and because I work hard, I have success. It's that easy, guys. It's okay to be different. Other people are going to want to spend more. Other people are going to tell you that, sure, go ahead and spend that money. Yeah, you deserve it. First and foremost, if you ever have to use the title, write this down somewhere on your brain, somewhere. I literally mean that. If you ever try to use the example, I deserve this, to spend money, you are blowing whatever that money is. I deserve this is a ridiculous quote. Don't ever use it. Don't do it for spending, or else you're going to be broke. Be ready for the unexpected. Bad things are going to happen. Your cat's going to get sick. If you have kids, they're going to need something. Something bad is going to happen. And the way that we do it is we make that emergency fund now, and we track all our spending, and all of this stuff goes into your budget. Okay, and here's a great example. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but having few wants. When you budget and when you organize your money, you're not going to want for things. You don't need a ton of money. You don't need to be a millionaire or a billionaire. You just need to be the position where you don't have wants. You're not lacking for happiness. And that's going to be the key thing, guys. And we're going to talk a lot about it more in class. So make sure you do the following assignment that has been assigned for you for this video. Okay, and I'll see you guys soon in class.